Welcome to ZapCast, the first and hopefully only podcast from the depths of space. I'm your host, Sparky. We got our second in command, Spur.
Hi.
And our ship mechanic, Crimson.
Sup?
So, what do you value more? Human life or money? Well, if you said money, then welcome to Coca-Cola. We're gonna hire a death squad. Don't believe us? It happened. Look it up. Pretty weird.
God.
What are you hinting at, Spur?
I'm hinting at the wonderful, wonderful things that have been going on with Blizzard recently.
Oh, you mean Tencent?
I don't know what company it is.
Tencent owns Blizzard.
So for those of you living in a free country right now, which is hopefully the majority, if you don't know, China is a totalitarian government. They control pretty much what other people see and hear. And
yes,
you know, they're very not good with the human rights.
They're not too great at the human rights department. Just gonna say that.
And this kind of falls into what we wanted to talk about, and it has to do with Blizzard Entertainment, also Blizzard Activision Blizzard, whatever the fuck. Blizzard owns this game called Hearthstone, and Hearthstone is basically kind of like a digital card game, essentially, like a trading card game but digital, and it's part of their esports league, which is basically live streamed, highly paid event of just people playing video games at like a stadium or something for like 8 hours, and like it's a competition like thing, and then the winning person or team brings home a lot of prize money. A pro Hearthstone player by the name of Blitzchun, I believe, I'm probably mispronouncing it, I probably got it wrong, he spoke up about the protests that are happening in Hong Kong right now about China. And he was not only banned, but stripped of his prize money, and he cannot play in the pro leagues for about a couple years. And this set people, basically made people really upset, because like he's basically got censored. And this is concerning because Blizzard is owned by Tencent, a Chinese company. They're investor, essentially. Tencent owns pretty much 60% of the world, next to Disney, kind of, in a way. They own pretty much everything. Electronics companies, movie franchises, foods. They own a lot of things. So it's not so. Blizzard is basically trying to prevent anything bad about China being said.
Well, they can't stop us.
They can't. Like they're basically trying to. They've been censoring everything having to do with the Hong Kong protests, so Tencent can still pay them money, and basically so they can still be alive, pretty much. And things got worse when people started canceling their World of Warcraft memberships, started trying to delete their accounts. Blizzard disabled pretty much all means to get to delete your account, all 4 ways. So you can't delete your accounts. That might have been changed by now, but as when I read about this, they removed it. On top of that, there was an article by, I believe, PC Gamer I saw. Let me pull it up for you. Blizzard states, our relationship in China had no influence on Blitzchun punishment, Blizzard says. But they immediately backpedal themselves by doing this. Blizzard removes a $175 Mei statue from the gear shop as Hong Kong embraces her as a mascot. For those who don't know who Mei is a character from the popular game Overwatch, which is owned by Blizzard. And then things just keep getting worse. As of today, they banned another pro Hearthstone team for holding up a sign that said "Liberate Hong Kong." This last thing right here is real, and you can You can find it on the Nintendo New York Twitter, which is basically kind of like the US version, semi sort of Nintendo account. They said since Overwatch was supposed to come out for Switch and it still is, Nintendo said, please be aware that the previously announced Overwatch launch event scheduled for Wednesday, October 10th at Nintendo New York City has been canceled by Blizzard. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. And if you go to the Nintendo, like the Nintendo of America Twitter, so there's Nintendo New York City, which is the largest Nintendo like store, and then you have Nintendo of America, which is down here in Redmond. If you go to their Twitter, there is no mention of Overwatch's release date, but there was like, oh, Witcher 3 is out right now, stuff like that. Nothing for Overwatch. And the one more thing, sorry.
That's okay.
Someone by the name of JetVent on Twitter said, good news. If you pre-ordered Overwatch on Switch, but you don't want to continue to support Blizzard, you can call Nintendo support and they can give you a refund. Nintendo doesn't ever give refunds to digital content, but they stated that this is the one exception that they're going to make because Blizzard is essentially digging their own grave here.
I was gonna say at this point, like, Nintendo's kind of the lesser of two evils. Because Nintendo will go and fucking copyright strike, take down any like fan-made projects and that.
Yeah.
But at least they're not violating fucking human rights. Like that's
Even the founder of Epic said that even though that Tencent owns 40% of Epic, they said that the founder of the founder of Epic said that Epic has always been about the consumers, not the investors. You know you have balls if you're going to call Blizzard, which is basically your partner company in a sense, your sister company.
Mm-hmm. That's
This guy's up.
Blizzard is without doubt completely in the wrong here. They're not. I mean, granted, when it comes to companies, obviously a lot of them, yes, money comes first, but in this day and age, it's not painting a very good picture for them at all.
They're only doing this for the money, because Tencent owns them. If they lose Tencent, they're down under. Yeah. And as much as I want it to be, God, sorry. I'm losing my breath here. As much as I want it to be a Men at Work song, it's not. And that was a really poorly timed joke, but and I hate to say this, but like, I'm glad I stopped supporting Blizzard years ago because I knew that something like this was going to happen. I'm not saying like I knew that this was going to happen, but I knew that they were going to do something like this that just sways the consumer base to turn away. And I was discussing this with Spur the other day, and he said he's glad that Destiny 2 left the Blizzard launcher, so he doesn't have to like touch the Blizzard launcher anymore.
Yeah, because like I mean, they left at a great time. Like they split with Activision like back in, I think it was December or something. I think the split officially happened in January. So Bungie was no longer tied to Activision, which is tied to Blizzard pretty well. And they left the launcher as of October 1st when they launched Shadowkeep. And boy, I love Bungie and I love Destiny, especially what it's become after Shadowkeep. And this just makes me love them even more because it's like they don't have to be associated with Blizzard and everything they've been doing wrong recently. And it's so great.
And I was gonna say that I've talked to all my friends outside of YouTube that were either Overwatch fans or like World of Warcraft fans or Titanfall fans. Was it Titanfall? Yeah, Titanfall. None of them play those games anymore, and you just said that they're probably not going to touch them ever again.
Oh yeah, well I mean, because like I I played World of Warcraft quite a bit. But I mean, actually, because like back in June or July, I started playing Final Fantasy 14. And I mean, I guess it kind of was maybe destiny because I didn't end up going back to World of Warcraft, and at this point, I probably won't bother just because of the kind of shit they're pulling right now.
Do you guys know that we live in a society?
Oh, we do we?
Damn, we do.
Mm-hmm.
This really says a lot about our society, honestly.
It does.
Somebody.
So speaking of living in a society, Crimson and I both saw Joker. We didn't see it together
No,
because we're states apart. Realistically speaking, not in the context of our whole space scheme, but we are states together, so we didn't see it together, but we both saw it individually, and both of us pretty much think it's a good movie. I mean, that's keeping it short, but I wanted to like go into deep about it, kind of.
well, yeah. I mean, I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a good social commentary.
Yeah.
Pretty much about the risks where the risks about not having people with mental illnesses getting the treatment that they need.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think that the part of the movie that I remember fondly, excuse me, I don't know if fondly is the right term for it, is that scene where he's writing in his notebook, and it says the worst part about having a mental illness is people expect you to act as if you don't. And I think that hits home hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
obviously,
like
I was just gonna say, obviously, everyone with mental illnesses does not go to the lengths that that Arthur Fleck went to, but ultimately, I just feel like that is the main thing about the movie is when people who need mental health treatment aren't able to get that because they're not funded or whatever. It's not something that should go unchecked. Basically, we need to look out for. We basically need to look out for those in our lives and find out what's going on, those close to us, and help them get the help that they need.
I was just gonna cut in and say that I thought the movie was a good psychological thriller.
Oh, absolutely.
In the same way of like American Psycho.
Yeah.
And you just see, and I do appreciate. So as a disclaimer, there are going to be some spoilers here and there. I mean, I won't emphasize it enough. I mean, it's been memed to hell already. So like, if you haven't seen it, like I still recommend seeing it. But I like to think that I like the idea that like you don't honestly know what's real and what's not in the story's plot because Arthur Fleck suffers from delusion.
Yeah.
And I like how that the ending is ambiguous, and so you don't know if anything that happened in the movie actually happened, or if he made it all up, or if the stuff did happen, but like at only but like different things. Like some people theorize the movie actually ends at the fridge scene.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, like I said, some people. See, I don't know ultimately what I think, whether or not Arthur Fleck really is the man who, becomes the Joker, or if, whoever becomes the Joker that fights Batman was inspired by Arthur Fleck or anything of that nature. Because, there are some people who say that, Arthur Fleck doesn't seem like the kind of guy that could, plot the way that the Joker plots. Things like that, which I can see, but on the other hand, there are some people who come off, as not really being able to pull off something like that, yet they do.
Um, I think my favorite moment from the Joker had to have been when the relationship with his neighbor that actually wasn't
Yeah.
that plot twist where like where he just walks into her apartment
Mm-hmm.
and like she's scared. She's like, "Wait, you're the person about the other day," but like to him, he was in a relationship with her because like she was the only like person to really pay attention to him and actually appreciate him other than his mom.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say that it's kind of grim,
It is.
but
This isn't a movie that you should be. This isn't a movie you should take your kids to see. This is definitely this. I mean, this rated
It's
R
rated
for a
You
reason.
can't do that anyway.
exactly.
There are no when I there are parents who will take their kids. I don't fucking know why,
Because they're stupid.
but it's a rated R movie, and it kind yeah. I mean, it's not violent. It's not like violent. Violent. There are moments where there is violent, but it doesn't depend on that.
Exactly. Um, my favorite scene, which is kind of a dark scene, but
Yeah.
where his two coworkers, Gary and Randall, come in.
Yeah, when they come into this apartment.
So, Randall's the fat guy and Gary's the little person.
Yep.
And just it's dark the way he murders Randall, and then he leaves Gary alone. He thanks him and says, "You're the only person who was ever nice to me." Like, yeah, you just traumatized this man, but you also thanked him, gave him a kiss on the head, and the fact that he locked the door made you think he was going to kill Gary, but the fact that he just lets him go was like total reversal of what your expectations were.
And here's the thing: you don't see him or the neighbor again after that,
Yeah,
or the child.
I mean, although I don't think that. Well, I don't know about Gary, but I don't think that he did kill the neighbor that he was interested in, because in the trailers, which is a deleted scene, where he's walking through the hallways of the apartment with the flower wand. It was a deleted scene where he apparently left those flowers outside her door with a note. So, but then again, with kind of how he is, he might not have remembered if he killed her. So,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, even then it's still kind of up for debate. But
Like I know we're spoiling something to the movie, but I think that's good in a sense for conversation because this movie, I feel like you can study it.
oh yeah, well, I mean, see, what I want to do is I want to go and
It's-
see it again, see if there's anything that I missed the first time around.
This movie is different from other like comic book related movies. For one, it's not directly based on any source material. If anything, it's like
Oh, no.
semi based on the Dark Knight Returns and The Killing Joke. But other than that, there's not a whole lot like this. There's no direct relationship, so you can do whatever you want with it. But
Exactly.
secondly, it's not like the Marvel Cinematic Universe where like
Mhm.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying this, but it's a movie, it's a popcorn flick, and you can't really analyze a lot of things in the Marvel movies compared to this Joker movie. I'm sure you can, but it shows you like Easter eggs compared to an actual character study. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying, and yeah, I mean this is not part of the DC universe as far as the films
No.
go. So this film is completely separate from whatever films that they have going right now. Batman versus Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. I don't know if Suicide Squad is part of that whole thing.
Yes.
But yeah. So Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is completely separate from that whole universe DC has going, and
So this thing with Jared Leto. Sorry, go.
I was gonna say is that there are no plans for Joaquin Phoenix's Joker to interact with an adult Batman at all.
Yeah, and while we're on the topic of the DC universe, Jared Leto is actually like pissed about this movie.
Oh, absolutely. Well, see, I mean, his Joker is probably universally hated amongst
Yeah.
DC fans.
Yeah, he's universally like voted on as the worst Joker.
And like, he was supposed to have another movie with like Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. Never came into existence. There was supposed to be another movie, like a Joker movie, that never came into existence. And then like this movie gets announced, and then he's not even like he's not even like asked to like play the role. And then James Gunn, director of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, is making a Suicide Squad 2, which is a soft reboot. And literally everyone in that movie has been recasted except for Margot Robbie. And then the Birds of Prey movie that's coming out, that's a setup to Suicide Squad 2. They didn't even get Jared Leto to come back for that one. So he feels alienated, which makes sense.
You know what would really suck? Is if for this Suicide Squad soft reboot, if they just ask Joaquin Phoenix to play the Joker in it. Like it's a separate Joker from his Joker, but they're just like, hey, do you want to do this?
I don't think they would do something like that.
No, I don't think that they would, but I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, it would be funny if that's what happened.
They did, like, seriously, the Suicide Squad movie was kind of built around these, like, I'm not sure how you would say it in terms of character. Like, Jared Leto works in that movie, but he doesn't work as a Joker. And so, like, and you compare that to Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, it's like, he would be so out of place, he'd be more out of place than Will Smith in Suicide Squad. I'm sorry, but I know he's supposed to play Deathstroke in the movie, but he's just Will Smith.
That's not.
Wait, are you saying that Joaquin Phoenix would be out of place or Jared Leto's out of place?
Sorry, Deathstroke, not Deathstroke. Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix would be out of place.
Oh yeah,
in a Suicide. Because you, it's like I said with the Will Smith, he's just kind of there as Deadshot. Like, it just feels like an odd casting choice. It really does. Like Jared Leto, like it would only really work with him, but even then, he's just not good. He's just not good. I feel bad about that, you know. We went a bit off topic, but like Joker honestly was a good movie, and I was surprised. Like, it was one of those movies that I was excited for since the very like first trailer. It's really rare for me if it's not something like that's like Godzilla, right? But like, I wanted to see it, and then like I saw it, and I wasn't unsatisfied. I really liked it.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, like I said, see, for me, one, I'm more of a Marvel fan than I'm a DC fan, so the fact that I want to see this movie was already an odd thing. And two, like I said, I genuinely want to see it again just to study it, see if there's anything else that I missed in the film that could be like, holy shit, I never thought of it that way before. So it really is just one of those films that this is like the first film in my life that I've seen that I genuinely am like entranced by, in a sense. It's a movie that I want to see again, and you know what? When it comes out on Blu-ray and DVD, I'll probably buy it.
That up.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up. It'll probably definitely be a movie that I watch. You know, I'm not gonna say forever, but you know, it's definitely going to be in. Right now, it's probably one of my top-rated movies, personally.
This has been another episode of ZapCast, and hopefully we're back to recording again. Check out our Facebook page if you haven't, and we'll see you within maybe a week, 2 weeks. It's been Commander Sparky signing off.
Tonight's episode of ZapCast has been brought to you by Coca-Cola.